Good morning everybody and welcome to another metal detecting adventure. Well, at least I can't wait to get started on it, but I've got work to do first. I'm gonna hair it up to my permission. It's about a 2-hour drive. I'm so excited. What a ball ache. I'm stuck on the motorway. There's a massive queue. It's saying it's going to take not 2.5 hours but probably more likely 4 hours to get to my permission. This is the one drawback of having a permission very far away from where you live. Oh, at last I'm here. 4 hours that took me, or longer probably. And I can see that the fields have been cut. At least this one. This isn't the one I normally detect on. And the bit you can see it's been left, that is the Roman road. It's 4:30 now. I've got about 4 hours of light. What can I do in that time? We're going to have to see. Oh, I can see my field. See how long it is. Oh, quite long. I didn't have time to change. I've got shorts on. And I, as you know, often see deer here. So I'm going to have to do a tick watch after this. Have a good old inspection. Okay guys, it's not that good news. Well, you can see it's kind of up to my knees. I think I'm going to have to ditch my plans because I can't swing my detector. I'm going to take you to the field we just walked through, which has been cut nice and tight. I have found a Roman coin in here, so let's see. In keeping with the rest of the day, which has gone wrong, we now have a major issue. The remote piece fits to the detector. It just isn't fitting in. It's lost. It's basically lost an important part. What this means is I'm going to now have to use only my ears. I can put this in my pocket and I can look at it if I need to, but I'm going to be using my ears, and you are as well, because I'm going to leave it on speaker so you can hear it. Today is going to be slow because I've got to remove the remote from my pocket. It's just not as quick. First little object of the day is this tiny little, well, I guess you would call it an escutcheon. It looks like it's for a tiny little key. It's weird though, it's not like, maybe it's from a clock. It looks like a part from something, doesn't it? I've managed to rig this up so that I can see it in my pouch, and it looks like we've got a signal here. My gut says it's not good, but let's see. Cattle medication made of aluminium, so it sounds absolutely amazing. I'm about an hour and a half in, maybe 2 hours. Literally nothing so far. Like, I've realised I'm basically starting again in this field. I don't know anything about it. All I know is there is some Roman activity not that far away, because I can see it over there, but nothing. It's like no one was here. Sometimes I think it'd be quite fun to get about 100 detectorists on one field, grid it out, each take a 10 by 10 square and really drill it in one day, just get to know what's there. But that's quite lazy, and also I'm not sure how happy the landowner would be. I suppose in some ways that kind of speaks to my archaeological interest, because what I'm trying to do by setting that up is a kind of survey. I want to know what's here. Less about just drifting about a field with a detector having a nice time, but more about actually establishing some interesting story about the place. I guess I need to recruit like 100 detectorists. Do you know any detectorists? I was just not feeling it today. I haven't found anything. I was kind of wandering aimlessly around a new field without any real understanding of what it is all about in there, what the context is. The grass is just too long. I might just have to suck it up and wait until the autumn when the foliage dies down a bit on this permission. I've still got a couple of hours left of the light. I'm going to go back to another permission, which is closer to where I'm staying at the wilderness cabin. I might do a couple of hours up there instead. Right, well, I'm in a different place now. This head height grass. It's also full of stingers, so I don't want to get stung, I don't want to get ticks. so I put some trousers on, even though it's hot. It's now about 7 o'clock. Ouch. Right, and this is Canslaw Alley in this field, isn't it? You remember from last time? There's something here. It's another one of those moo tubes. Good morning. What a day. Right, it's dawn. Well, I've missed dawn, but it's 7 AM and I am going out to that field. I actually really like these early morning sessions. Weird, there's loads of tyre tracks in the longer part of the grass where I found those interesting lead objects. So what I'm going to do is detect all of these flattened areas because I can get my detector in here. Just in here. It's a button. I actually thought that was going to be a coin. Whoops. I thought it was going to be a coin because it's so green. Wire. Get rid of that. That's not good for the cattle that are coming in here this winter. It's a bit of aluminium. Petition to detecting bikinis. At last, an artefact. First I thought it was a musket ball, but it's not. It's one of those little mini bullets. Lead with concentric circles around it. Oh, balls. I think it's going to be another. Yeah, it's one of these. I'm going in the middle of the field now because I just think I've walked that edge. And what did I find? Trash. This makes no sense. This field has to have good stuff in it. It's in a very, very good location. Okay gang, just when I was about to lose the will to live, I've got a nice signal here. And it is a beaut. It's a buckle. I would think that's post-medieval buckle. Finally, something decent. I think I've just found something here. It looks awfully like a silver coin. What does that look like to you guys? That is a silver coin. We need to clean this. A coin, a coin, a coin. Yes. I can't tell you how close I was to not digging this because it was the same as the trash that I've been digging all day. 46. And I did not fancy digging it. That, I think, is a George 1816. It's a Georgian coin. This side is not good, but this side is good. I don't know what kind that is. You guys will all know, I'm sure. But 1816 is the date. and I am thrilled because that's made my last 2 days worth of digging and 3 detecting sessions worthwhile. Unfortunately it's got some black marks on it. I don't think that's from my trowel, that's just how it is. Well, it looks like a silver coin to me. Hooray! Here's a nice little piece of china as well. Nothing special, just a piece of transfer printed blue and white. I tell you what, I was literally about to find the nearest skip and chuck my detector in it. And that's no reflection on my detector, I just thought I cannot do this hobby if I'm going to work for 2 days and find absolutely nothing. This bag on my hip is so full of absolute rubbish. It's embarrassing. It's a nail. Another bit of trash for my collection. Let's have a little chat about trash. I've got a couple of really clean pieces of land. One is my Roman fields. There's really very little contamination. And what there is shotgun caps. What can I learn from that? Well, I can learn that the land has been very little farmed. It hasn't been sprinkled with green waste, which is full of things like tin cans and other kind of rubbish. That's good news for me because it means that I am digging somewhere which is, you know, largely undisturbed, and so any artifacts from, well, all the way back will still be sitting somewhere quite close to the surface. This piece of land is completely different and it's not that far away, it's only about half a mile away. The land is full, absolutely full of can slaw, aluminium bottle tops, farm machinery, bits of wire, cable, all sorts of stuff. And what does that tell me about the land? Well, I can tell straight away just digging it that it's been heavily over farmed by the previous owner. The landowner that's just bought it did a quick test with one of his metal detecting machines, which goes on the back of his tractor, and found that it was absolutely full of shreds of metal. So I've confirmed that today. Does it make it any less likely that I'm going to find brilliant things on this land? No. However, it's going to be harder. It's going to be much harder for me to find, because for every spade I dig, the great likelihood is I'm going to find rubbish. And so it just increases my workload, and it also knocks my mojo. Part of the lesson that I'm learning from this piece of land is to find my metal, to, you know, stick with it and just keep going, and that was proven today. Good morning. I've had a brainwave in the night. So yesterday I found that amazing coin, that 1816 silver, it's a silver sixpence, and a buckle within very close proximity. I think I hit on what was an old footpath, which I can see on a map is a diagonal running across this field, but of course trying to establish where that path fell is quite difficult because the tree line has moved since the map was made in the 1830s, and so I've got one fixed point of reference, which is that tree there, because that marks the corner of a field, which is where the footpath ran to. What I don't know is where it went on that side, but I do know where I found the objects yesterday, and that was here. I took a what 3 words. So what I've got now is I've got a line between my spade and that tree, and my idea is that that will extend onwards in a straight line to the woodland. So I'm going to go and put some markers in the ground, and I'm going to detect in a line up and down and see what I find. Okay, I've got 3 markers in, stakes in the ground. I know what to do now. Success! I found a coin. And it looks like it could be another silver coin. Oh yes, look, it's another sixpence. This time, this is going to be a Victorian coin. And this time it's a 1890 is the date on that one. Cool, I'm on the right tracks here. Because look, I'm not that far from the post. Right, another what 3 words taken, and I can see that there's this kind of channel forming here, which I think is quite interesting. So hopefully this is the path. Just a little note on this find. It's an adjustable buckle with no pin, and it was used in the 16th and 17th century. So that is a buckle that dates from the 15 or 1600s, which is a little bit older than I thought actually. It's really nice, isn't it, now it's cleaned up. If you find yourself on a field full of trash, which we all do sometimes, just stick with it, because you will find stuff. It's just going to take longer and be harder. Secondly, you need to have a plan and a strategy. I realised that I could fall back on those old maps. I could try to find where there will have more likely been footfall, and therefore cut out a lot of unnecessary trash digging, because if I'm going to dig trash, I'd rather dig it somewhere where there's also likely to be things to find. There's just nothing more soul destroying than digging trash and not finding anything decent. I would love to see you again on the next video. Make a comment below, let me know what you think, let me know how you strategise your digs. That's my tips for trashy fields. They are worth digging, but they will test your mettle for sure.